Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Night City Wire.
Are there going to be multiple
This is the show from
episodes?
us at CD Projekt Red, where we talk about all things Cyberpunk 2077. So I think for today we'll start with a question that everybody wants.
We're going to analyze
How
this video.
How does the path you pick affect your time
Definitely.
in Night City?
It actually affects your time quite a lot throughout the whole game, but let's start at the beginning, because basically our game has 3 different starts depending on your life path. As an example, if you choose the Street Kid life path, you have lived most of your time in Night City. You know the streets, you know the gangs, you know the slang, you kind of know what's going on in the, let's say, lower life aspects of the city, which can of course give you lots of good opportunities also later on in the game. But if you start as a nomad, you actually used to be part of a nomad clan and a nomad family, because nomads that roam the deserts around Night City, that we call the Badlands, actually value their family above anything. But for one reason or another, you actually left that family behind, and now the beginning of the game for you will actually be how to get into Night City.
That's also really cool too.
Then you can also choose to actually be a corpo and choose the corporate life path. And that basically means that you're not at home in the streets of Night City or in the deserts of the Badlands, but actually inside the boardroom, because you rose the corporate ladder of the Arasaka Corporation.
That's so sick.
Which basically gives you the ability to sometimes, read between the lines, read people when they're trying to do business, which of course can give you many nice opportunities later on.
Damn, man.
So this isn't just about the start.
There's going to be so
Can you
many
maybe help people understand how this translates
little
into the
things in this game that are going to change
So the thing
every
is,
single time you
we
play it.
make Cyberpunk a real RPG, and part of that is that you can play your character from the start to the end. And of course, we have these life paths affecting the beginning.
But can
of
you
the
ball?
game, but we wanted to make it so you have your life
If you
path
can't ball, I'm not
opportunities
playing it.
throughout the whole game until the game is over. And as an example, we do that by giving you additional options in dialogues. So I can give you one specific example. And this is a mission where you have to steal a flathead robot from the Maelstrom gang. Basically, those Maelstromers stole that flathead before from a corporate transport. And the owner of that corporate transport, Meredith Stout, wants you to do something else. And this is an optional objective. And even within that objective, we want to give you some options. So as an example, if you have a corporate life path, you basically know
I feel like
what
pistols
Meredith Stout
are going to
is
be my
really
thing
about.
for the
You can
first
read between the
run of
lines,
this game.
and you can get
They just
some
look really,
additional
really cool.
options that maybe actually later enable you to do a completely different thing with the Maelstrom gang. And if you're a nomad, you know exactly some more details about how these Maelstromers would have even been able to steal a robot like that from Meredith Stout, who's part of the very powerful Militech Corporation. As a street kid, we as an example don't give you a specific new dialogue option in that dialogue, because as a street kid, you do not have a lot of experience dealing with higher up people like Meredith Stout. But we want to give you additional options that fit your life path very well. So later when you actually talk to the Maelstrom gang, one member of the gang offers you some illegal substance, but as a street kid, you actually know what this is about. You can talk some shop with him, and that might actually make that character like you a little bit more. So the thing is, Night City is surrounded by this huge landscape that we call the Badlands, and you can go there whenever you want. So as an example, if you actually do play the Nomad life path,
I wonder if you can customize your vehicle at all, or is it like you just kind of get a bunch of random different ones, kind of like Grand Theft Auto. Well, even Grand Theft Auto lets you
if you want, you can
upgrade
just take
your
car
vehicle
and drive out of the city. You can go there whenever you want. Thing is, you might not want to, because the Badlands can be a pretty dangerous place at first, because time has not been very kind to the Badlands.
So I wonder if it's like level based.
There have been many wars.
The zones in the
past.
game.
There's global warming, so most people that do live out there don't really have another choice about it, or are nomads that love this life and are all about it and are very battle hardened. We of course also want to tell their stories, because we want to tell many different stories throughout the cyberpunk genre, which means that you will also find missions that lead you out in the Badlands or where you deal with the people living there. And fixers are people that work as intermediaries. So if someone who has a lot of money needs a problem solved, they go to a fixer. And a fixer then finds people who can solve that problem. And these people are people like you, the cyberpunks. Fixers are very territorial. So Padre specifically works from Haywood, which is where you as a street kid grew up in, so you already know him. You might have already seen another one of our fixers.
Yeah, this
who's
guy.
called Dexter Deshawn, and he works in a different part of the city. So specifically,
That's the point where that guy tries
you
to
might know
fuck
him as
you,
a
I'm pretty
street
sure.
kid, but even if you played other life paths, you might sooner or later meet him.
Dude, can it be November 19th? This is bullshit. I actually want to play this game so bad.
So if you want to make some cash there, you will sooner or later deal with Padre.
Yes. Okay, there's katanas in the game. Done. Melee weapons, first playthrough.
About just some of the tools of destruction that will be at your disposal.
I was like, do we get a katana in this game?
Before that, let's talk
we sure
about
do.
Music.
What? Ooh. That tech sniper gets you hard. Yeah, so that's pretty money. It seems like all of them look different too. Like you can put like skins on them or like pick up different kinds of weapons that are still the same. It's like a smart SMG. That's money, dude. Yeah, give me those melee weapons. Thermal katana. So badass. Ooh. Yep, that's what I want. Mantis blades, yeah, everybody's gonna want those. Gorilla arms? Oh, you can literally be Iron Man.
So, V, are you willing?
Yeah, I'm in.
Dude, this... Oh.
We have power weapons, we have tech weapons, and we have smart weapons. Now, power weapons are the most similar to contemporary weapons. One thing they can do, which normal weapons cannot, is ricochet bullets off of surfaces. So you can hit somebody hiding behind cover or hiding behind a wall. Now, tech weapons, on the other hand, use electromagnetic power to propel a fully metal projectile to extreme velocities. What that allows them to do is to punch through cover or punch through walls to hit somebody who's not even aware that you're there.
That's
Smart
dope.
weapons use guided missile technology to actually track.
So if you know somebody's there, you can like snipe them in the head through a wall, some shit like that.
Running away from you.
That was so cool.
Somebody who's hiding behind cover. What the player will experience is that V changes from a small-time mercenary to a legend in the world of Night City. V becomes more and more proficient in using weapons as the game progresses.
Is there going to be proficiencies?
Reload times become shorter. The accuracy of your weapons grows.
Oh, okay.
You will have faster aiming time. You will move faster with your weapons.
Cool.
Everything
so there's like perks or,
in your control, and
like I said, proficiencies
more opportunities to
within each weapon.
The biggest encounters that
set.
will be designed for you. However, the best weapons that you can find will be taken from enemies or loot caches that we have everywhere in Night City.
Okay.
The weapons rarities range from common through uncommon up to rare and then legendary. And as they go,
so there's
rarity,
only 4.
they actually climb in power. However, legendary weapons are very specific in such a way that they possess unique abilities that you will find on no other weapons in the game. The players will actually need to make some tough choices to find some legendary weapons, because maybe they need to choose whether to kill a person who holds the legendary weapons that they want, or to spare them because they like them as a character. One of them would be modifications that we call attachments. So these
and then there's probably like cosmetic
silencers, and you can see them actually being attached to your weapon as
That's
you're playing
cool.
the game. They
Good.
give you statistics advantage, and they give you more opportunities in gameplay. The other part of mods would be software mods. Now these are basically small chips that you install in your weapon, and they actually change the statistics of the gun. They can give you damage, they can give you accuracy, or they can give you more fire rate. Some of those mods actually change the gunplay on a more fundamental level, so they can give you non-lethal rounds, biochemical rounds to tear through that armor even faster.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be back with Night City Wire Episode 3 soon.
Ah, you're not going to give us a date? You suck. So obviously there is a ton to unpack here, and we'll get down into the nitty gritty of it. Mostly talking about weapons today, just because that's what they kind of showed most of, but we can't miss out on the life paths. So there's Nomad, Corpo, and Street Kid. Obviously you're gonna have to play those 3 different times, because you can't pick both or all 3 in one playthrough. So that already is great to me. That's just replayability in and itself. All 3 of those are very, very interesting, because in my head, the first thing I'm thinking is, what am I not getting in the other 2 that I didn't pick? And I think that's what they want you to do, because personally I'm just thinking, what is the gear I'm not getting? What is the weapons I'm not getting? You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to making those choices, obviously whether or not it comes late game or early game, you're going to have missions that you're not going to be able to do depending on your life path. And I wonder if that opens up loot system where it's like you're only getting this specific weapon or piece of armor or clothing because you picked Nomad or because you picked Corpo or Street Kid. So that already is really cool to me, because I like the fact that I could play this game for the first time, whereas my friends could play, oh, I picked Corpo as you picked Street Kid, and we got 2 different things around the same time. So the second thing that I really wanted to talk about was the Badlands, and just to dive a little bit more in them. I know they didn't show them a lot, but I think personally it's a very interesting approach to this game. I feel like there's 2 big places. There's Night City and then there's the Badlands, and it's cool that you can drive vehicles around. You can go in and out of Night City depending on actually either life path you pick. You're going to be able to go in and out, and I like that they made the Badlands, from what it seems like to me, they made it higher level gameplay. If you're any low level, you probably shouldn't be in the Badlands unless you start out as a nomad. Then you're kind of already gifted with knowing the Badlands. And I think that's cool, because it makes it kind of scary if you're a Street Kid or a Corpo. You don't want to step foot out there because you have no idea what is out there. And I think it's just little nuances like that that make this game interesting. And they almost make you want to do those things. If you were a Street Kid or a Corpo, wouldn't you want to go out and see the Badlands where you've never been before? The main thing I kind of wanted to focus on, and the main ideas and thoughts that I have, revolve around the weapons. Obviously, there's a loot rating from common to uncommon to rare to legendary. There are 4. There are exactly 4 from what he said. Legendary being the ones that we probably want to talk about the most. If we want to talk about it, Borderlands is one of the things that made loot rarities such a big deal, I want to say. And with this game having rarities is obviously a no-brainer. It makes sense. I mean, look at CD Projekt Red's last games. They had Witcher, there were weapons and armor with loot rarities. Fallout, think of an RPG, you think of loot rarities. Obviously you want the best, most unique weapons you can get your hands on. And with this game, I'm really, really hoping that they take the time to make the legendaries unique. And when I mean unique, I mean Fallout unique. Because think about Fallout 3, think about Fallout New Vegas. They made weapons in that game, the uniques, awesome. They made them look different, they made them sound different, they made them do different things. That was what was so much fun about getting a unique. So with Cyberpunk, I really hope that they do the same thing. They take those legendaries that you find and that you worked hard for, and I hope they do cool things. I hope they look different, and I honestly don't think that we're gonna be let down. Just from what we saw before with the weapons, I don't think I saw a single weapon in that game, just in the trailer, that looked the same. And so I think I can say wholeheartedly that we're going to be extremely, extremely happy with the unique system, or the legendary system in Cyberpunk. So the next thing about weapons that I really want to talk about, because they really didn't give a whole lot about them, was the proficiencies. It was very vague when they talked about it, but I want to deep dive into this because just from what I got, it's pretty interesting, and I kind of like it a lot more than what, let's say, Fallout did. Fallout, at least Fallout 3 and New Vegas, we'll say, they made it so that every time you level up, you distribute skill points, and some of those skill points was for melee weapons, unarmed weapons, light weapons, or small weapons, or explosives, or big guns. And personally, I didn't really enjoy that because I always felt like I had to level one over the other. Whereas in this game, there's 3 different types of guns. There's power guns, there's tech weapons, and then there's smart weapons. And I'm assuming across the board, as long as you use them, you are leveling your proficiency. That is just kind of what it seemed like to me when they were talking about it. Because if you take Grand Theft Auto, for example, every time you're driving, or you're swimming, or you're running, you're leveling up either your stamina, like how good you are at driving, or how good you are at swimming. And I want to say that's kind of what they're going for here. So as long as you're using the gun, you are leveling it up. You don't have to not use a weapon just because you don't have enough skill points in it. I would say that, and that's like the best part about experimenting with different weapons in this game, is because no matter what, you're always going to be leveling it up as long as you're using it to get experience. If I have to use a weapon, I'd rather be getting XP for it. So say there's a mission where one of your homies gives you a weapon. You're not used to this weapon, but he gives it to you and you have to use it. At least you're getting proficiency in it. And that's kind of what the big thing that I want to take away from that is. You're always leveling weapons if you're using them. You don't have to wait. You don't have to have, oh, I'm not proficient in this gun, so I can't use it. And I have to wait till I level up to add more perk points to it or add attribute points. You will always be leveling it. That's what I like about this game, and I hope that's what happens. That's what it seems like happening, but we won't see until maybe further down the road. The next thing I want to talk about with guns is the manufacturers. So clearly there are many different manufacturers that make it so the guns look different and they do different things, and I think that's really cool. And the one game that has done this obviously the best is Borderlands. Borderlands is known for all their gun manufacturers, their shield manufacturers, their class mod manufacturers. That is the big thing. And a lot of manufacturers have different stats, but for each different gun, shield, and whatever, their stats are kind of similar. They do similar things. For instance, in Borderlands 3, Atlas does their guns shoot homing rounds, which is basically exactly what smart guns do in this game. But the manufacturers themselves all have a distinct feel to them and a distinct look from what I saw. And I think that's super cool. I'm assuming a lot of them are different manufacturers, and that's just another reason for replayability. Getting different manufacturers, leveling them up, see if that's a thing. See if you get different perk points that add to proficiency in weapons under a certain manufacturer. There are so many things that they could do just with the manufacturers alone that make the game just that much more full. I think the last thing I really want to talk about today with this Night City Wire was the obtainability of Legendaries. Now, obviously they said that they are in the game. We saw a lot of different guns. We haven't seen anything that's legendary yet. The only thing I could say that might be legendary is the red katana that we saw in the trailer. But who knows what that would be. That could just be a cosmetic change, which also we have no information about if we can change the look of our weapons just cosmetically, which would be awesome. But I totally understand if they don't do it because there are so many manufacturers that make the guns look different. But anyways, obtaining legendaries. Obviously, so they said it's going to be difficult because it's like you have to make choices whether you want this legendary from a person that you need to murder, you need to steal it, what if it's in the shop? And that's kind of like what I like. I like being able to think about what I'm gonna do to get that legendary. Say it's in a shop and it's not obtainable price-wise if you're broke. Can you steal it? Can you kill the shopkeep and take it? I want to know if it's available in other ways other than paying for it, because that would make it more RPG-ish, you know what I'm saying? It would be much more immersive. Like, yeah, I see that in your store, I want it, but I can't get it financially. I'm gonna kill you and take it, or I'm gonna steal it somehow. I'm gonna take the key and unlock the door or something like that. That's what I want to see, and I hope that's what they do. Other than that, let me know if I missed anything. Let me know if there's something that you thought was interesting, or any of your kind of comments or concerns about this game. November 19th is not that far away. We're getting closer. I mean, we're in August now, so we've only got 3 months away. So thank you guys so much for watching. I am Signers of Decay. Please leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this video. Let me know what you think about Cyberpunk in general. And until next time, guys, here's an outro.